So, guys, this is my review for Hajime no Ippo Season 3, Episode 2. With that, let's dive right into this review of this episode. Title episode is Beating the Dempsey Roll. And per the title, right, sitting here watching, the first roughly, 5+ minutes of the episode, I was really just sitting here like, that doesn't sound good, doesn't sound great. And of course, that's what it seemed like was the case per the title. We see that Shima, he had talked about, taking him down to the deep. He can't go anywhere. Because again, in episode 1, he hit him with that left to the body, to the right side of his ribs, right? And of course, he kept doing it. And then, of course, we see that Ippo is having trouble breathing, right? So, throughout the course of I want to say the first half of this fight, we see that Shima just kept going for those bodies, even to the point where he shoved them into the ropes. Like, Shima was very strategic. He literally knew what he was doing when it was pertaining to this specific fight, and the challenge of it that came with looking to try his best to defeat Ippo, of course, to win the title and take it back to Okuyama, right? So, as I'm sitting here watching this, I'm having concerns for Ippo because, again, of his breathing. We know that even to the point, like, if I remember correctly, I did use it a part of the thumbnail for the reaction video. If you haven't checked out the reaction to the episode, definitely go check it out if you're interested. That Ippo's dangling with his left arm over the rope, back to it and everything. He's breathing heavy. Like, I was literally sitting there just thinking, like, dude, like, is it really over with this fight here? But at the same time, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, Ippo is gonna figure out how to win. I just don't know how he's going to figure it out. And of course, we see him remembering the training with Chief, and he's treating the fight like they're every time he reaches in for the punches and stuff, we see that that Chief pops up and he's holding the mitts and he's treating him like those swift jabs. So that's the thing. It seemed like the punches weren't doing any real damage, but technically they were. It was just like I said, it just seemed like it wasn't really doing what I perceived it as. Light punches that just didn't have any heaviness to them. And both corners are literally, both corners are like going through it emotionally. Shima's corner is going through it positive, Chief's corner is going, Ippo's corner is going negative. Like, two various things are happening in this ring, but it's literally, as I'm watching this episode, it's literally going in the direction that it actually needs to go. Because again, I'm sitting back watching this fight transpire roughly 10+ minutes into this episode. I'm like, this is dangerous. Ippo's, he seemingly seems done. That's not the third. Again, like I said, that image of him hanging off the rope, looking like if he lets go, he's gonna fall. It's gonna be an automatic knockdown. That's not the third. But again, because Ippo is remembering his training, like Master Yoda from Star Wars, remember your training, my young Padawan, right? He literally uses that, those moments where he's light jabbing the mitts with Chief, he's light jabbing the face of Shima. Now, I definitely did like the fact that when Ippo started to use the Dempsey roll, it was like having, Shima was swinging along with Ippo. That was his way of countering the Dempsey roll, was him just going back and forth. It was literally, that's all that they were doing. His own little, I want to say his own little mini version of a Dempsey roll punch, just to counter it. It really wasn't so much of him fully beating it. Again, the statements put out there, he's going to be able to, he's making the thing saying, like, I'm gonna beat the Dempsey roll, this, that, and the third. But he basically was countering it. So with that happening, they both were literally going back and forth, punching each other in the face, and it was just an all-out, like, brawl, sort of. And literally towards the end of the episode, somebody had said it, like, I think it was the commentary was saying, like, somebody's gonna go down per this barrage of punches that they're doing to each other, because we see them brawling again back and forth a little bit later towards the end of this episode. But with that, we see that Ippo, because of the training with Chief and stuff like that, I'm able to see Ippo actually do what needs to be done. He was able to get the knockdown necessary to be able to defeat Shima, and I give all props to Shima in this fight. It was a good fight. It just wasn't one of those fights that were like, it like I said, it just seemed like in this episode, under 10 minutes, like it was gonna be over. But it's just one of those fights that, from my perspective, Ippo's definitely gonna remember. He's gonna use this to be able to focus on what he needs to do better in his next title defense. Work on his body more, maybe work on his ribs, this, that, and the third, try to get stronger, and definitely look to do his best to guard his ribs more, because you got to be able to breathe, especially in that ring. And like Taka said, like, Shima, if this indeed was underwater, this was the deep, you would have won, but that's not the case. This is the actual ring. This isn't out there in the sea and stuff like that. This isn't your usual comfort zone. This is Ippo's comfort zone, basically. It's just that he just had to adjust to be able to make it happen, and Ippo did that. So again, props to Shima. He put up a good enough fight for Ippo, and Ippo was able to come out on top with the W. But all in all, I really did indeed enjoy these past 2 episodes for today, and I'm looking forward to Ippo's next challenger to come. But definitely looking forward to see how he's going to be practicing and stuff to move forward, just to train and stuff like that. But that's pretty much my thoughts on episode 2, guys. The finale of the fight. What did you all think of the episode? Leave some comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about some things. What did y'all think of episode 2 of season 3 when you first sat down and watched it the first time? Leave some comments if you feel up to it. And I will hopefully talk to y'all next time with more Hajime no Ippo season 3 videos. Peace, guys.